Hi, welcome to the Monahan Family Fun video channel, and we're going to talk to you a little bit today about making swords. Making swords is really easy to do, really inexpensive, and a ton of fun for the kids. All you need are a couple pieces of PVC. You need a cross piece, 3 of these end caps, and then a bushing. Make sure when you get your bushing you don't get the type that has threads in it like I got right here, because it doesn't work for the project we're doing. You also need, of course, the 2-part glue to put on the PVC piece, to put all the PVC pieces together. And please note that you do need to have the purple primer. If you don't have the primer, it won't stay together. We found that out the hard way. To make this is really simple. You start by measuring. So I figured a good sword length was about hip height where you had the arms down here. So we're going to do this for my older son, who's pretty tall. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this right here. This is a pipe cutter. You can, of course, use a saw if you want, but it sure is going to take a lot longer. Then we need the guards that come off of here. They don't have to be too long. We're just going to cut a couple of pieces here. And since we want these to be even, obviously, we're going to cut them the same length. And then you want the piece for the hand. I normally figure I want one hand. If it's a one-handed sword, these are pretty light, so going with one hand is fine. Okay, that was pretty easy. We've got all the pieces laid out. Notice the bushing to reduce the size down. And then there is our sword length. And you've got the end caps. Very simple with a cross. Okay, when I'm gluing, I like to only glue on the inside. This isn't best practice if you are doing pressurized lines, but it works okay for these swords. And the reason is I don't want glue all over the place. Now, you can put this primer on the pipes that fit inside, but when you actually do the glue part, you don't want it dripping all over. I don't want this to get on there, so I'll set it over there. So just prime each piece. Alright, now that I've got all the pieces primed, I'm going to go ahead and start gluing them. And again, I only put the glue on the part where you're inserting into. So I'm going to go ahead and put some glue here. And if you're fast enough, you can do more than one at a time. So I'll slip that in. We'll go ahead and put the bushing in. Just realized I missed the inside of the bushing. I'll let that dry while I get these 3 end caps. Then finally the blade part. And there we go. We've got it all put together. It's a sword. Now obviously I don't want my kids hitting each other with that, so I have got this. It's a keeps your pipes warm. I forget what it's called, but this is for 1/2-inch copper, but as it turns out works great for swords. So you just slip it on. And initially I had capped the end. That caused some problems with this fitting, and it turned out that it worked much better to actually just do the full thing and then cut it about 1.5 inches right there. So we're going to go ahead and strip off the adhesive. So these are 2-sided, so you go ahead and strip off each side and then just press them together. And it is a bit of a tight fit, but it does work. And then I actually suggest wrapping duct tape around this. It will get torn up after a while, but it still works just fine. But the duct tape does make it last longer. You can see it fits. Make sure it's all the way across, attached to itself. And then the final piece is to just cut this off. All you do is you feel up here, go about 1.5 inches above the end of the sword, and give it a snip. Then finally, to keep this from slipping off, which doesn't seem like it would, but once they get into the sword fighting really good, you will see that it will fall off. So all I'm going to do is get some electrical tape and put it around this. Obviously you could wrap the hilt if you wanted, but kids seem to like it just as it is. And there you go, a sword for kids. I can't say that they can't hurt each other, but it certainly hurts a lot less.